I had a question from a recent video that I did. It's sort of a talk meditation video on how there isn't an I, which I know to a person that seems nuts. Because there's an experience of a person having an individual experience. But quite often there's some recognition that this personal experience isn't all there is. And we sort of have some inclination that we're more than just this separate self in the world. The question was, because I said we have a choice, and very rightly the person said, well, if we've got a choice, who's choosing? And so I thought we'd just do a video and see what happens around that idea of, is there a choice and who's choosing? So I'll talk from experience, from personal experience, from direct experience of being, that can appear as a personal and can feel like a personal experience. All we've ever been is this universal self having an experience of individuality. So what we do is we see the end result. We see a separate person that's got choices in the world. I'm going to make this life, my life, better. So if I can fix it, if I can feel secure, and all of that is born out of this feeling of separation, this feeling of almost lost at sea, just got to survive, which is all understandable, and that's great for a physical body, to be able to survive in a world, because that's the experience the physical body is having. Actually, I offer that it's life experiencing. It's impersonal, having a personal experience. So the choice, when we feel like we're limited, that we're a separate self, doesn't feel like there's a choice. And I remember suddenly realizing that there was a choice. And I can use I and I remember, because this is just the way we communicate. But that I is a universal I. If we look at life from the end result, from the ever-changing, it's hard to see, the source of all life, the essence of all things, is this one source. It's just this one essence. It's not a thing, you see, so it's quite hard to talk about. And I just invite you to open up your focus, because if we try and get this in the head, it's got an idea of separation. It's got very fixed ideas of what it is. So I invite you to open up your focus and relax down as if there's nothing to get, this leaning back and just being open to allowing these words to wash over you, allowing the silence to be an opening to what you are. So the silence between the words, the silence that you are. To recognize that silence when the mind isn't offering you ideas, when the mind isn't trying to work everything out. We can just rest that mind. We can unplug from the mental realm, from mental activity. So how we do that, or how it's seen here, is this opening up of the focus. When we close our focus, we concentrate in on thoughts, feelings and emotions, and that is, that's our experience. But we can open our focus, we can rest back and use this vehicle, this body-mind, to drop down, down, down into this space of being. into the silence, into the just being, dropping a doer, dropping the mind-made chooser, choosing to just be. But it's not a doing, so we're not guessing the mind's right, I'm going to stop now and choose to just be. That would be the separate self having an experience of just being. And I used to do that. I used to try and be present. The I used to try and be present. And I'm saying let's drop the I. And how we drop the I is opening the focus and resting back in that place of allowing. So there's no doing, there's just being. And the video was about, there's no I in just being. There's no personal I. No personal I. The I is a universal I when we're just open to non-conceptual awareness. So not a fixed idea of what's here. An open view of pure potential of what's here. When we just rest in this present moment. When we don't filter it and colour it with past and future, with trying to fix it, trying to understand it, trying to, okay, I know what she's talking about, that next. That's what the mind does. So again, to offer to open the focus. Whoops, the cats are messing with the camera. To open the focus and to drop down into being. And really, it's just our attention. It's just where we're being, where we're just not doing, where we're just resting, is where the truth is revealed, that this impersonal awareness is what we are. Not the personal, closed down, separate self, fixed idea of who we are. This open focus, this relaxed, pure potential of just being is impersonal. So what's choosing from here? Life. You are life. You are choosing, but life is choosing how it wants to play in the world. Limited through mind, body and emotions, or unlimited, or just stepping into life, just leaning into life, in the body of wisdom and bliss, which is an open space of being, which is just responding in the moment, which is just pure potential to see this moment as crystal clear, unfiltered, and how the mind can filter it. So it's just pure experience and no experiencer, because the experiencer would be the individual I. But there's just experience here because we haven't picked up the individual I. There's just experience. I often, always have had this intuition that silence is the best teacher. That it's actually the silence. Points to who we are. Just this space of being. So there's nothing to get because there's no one to get it because we already are it. It just blossoms here, it just unfolds here. Life just gets to experience itself. Life is experiencing itself. So for me there was always this feeling that I was identified with this separate self, nothing wrong with it. And I was it's just an experience life can have. So it's okay. Who would be frustrated that they can't get rid of the I? That would be the I. That would be the mind-made self that just has very fixed ideas and has preferences, has strong desires. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just the way life can experience. But for me, I was looking to be present because I didn't like this constant sound, this constant noise of the mind and the push and pull and the contraction of the feeling of being separate, being vulnerable, and needing to control life. Just didn't feel right. And so lost the thread of where I was. It doesn't matter. There's no preferences. There's no right or wrong. And that is crazy to the mind, and I get that. It wants to fight with that. But it's just to be open to this idea of actually what's here when we look, when we stop, when we don't create a life, when we recognise what's already here, just life. In all its aspects, in its separate self. Experiencing separation or experiencing unity, it's all just life, lifing. Now that's fine if you don't agree with this. It's just the experience that this expression is having. But I just invite you, if you are looking for something other than that experience of separation, that you feel like there is something other than just this limited feeling of life. There's actually something else. There's actually the chance to see that, picked up the thread again. So I was looking to be present. And the recognition was that I am the presence. So it wasn't this separate, it was I am, it's this expansive. So there was a place of allowing, in a moment of just relaxation, of not needing to get anything or want anything, or grasping or pulling or fixing. In a moment of just relaxation, it was seen that the position, instead of going out towards a world to fix, change and improve it, that I am the world. There was still a sense of I, though. I was still identified. But at the same time, I was sort of dancing in both worlds. I was like, I am presence. But there was still a belief in this I. And it was just seen that this presence had been labelled Colette. My parents had called this presence that we all are. I'm not any different to you. We're all this presence. And it was labelled Colette. And I believed in that label. And then there was thoughts and a story around that label that I believed it was a limited idea of me that I believed in. And then I was able to see, oh, they called this presence Colette. So, that's there for you to be able to see. All I can do is share the experience that this expression has had. And for you to see if these moments of silence, if these pointers to this space of being, to this, maybe this limited fixed idea of a you, maybe all you've ever been is just this ocean of being. Sorry, the sun's in my face now, so I'm trying to get out of it. So I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.